Have you ever quietly looked at yourself in the mirror and wondered, am I still attractive? You walk into a softly lit room, hear gentle laughter and conversations around you, but then you feel a certain stillness, as if other people's eyes pass over you without really stopping. And suddenly, you remember the days of your youth, when just a glance, a smile, could turn heads and make the world pause. But now, with silver in your hair and skin no longer as smooth as before, you wonder, am I still a captivating woman? It's easy to believe that beauty has slipped away with time. We live in a world that celebrates youth, wrinkle-free skin, slim figures, and flawless appearances. That kind of messaging makes many women over 60 feel as though they're slowly disappearing. But here's the truth. You may be more attractive now than ever, only in a deeper, more elegant, and unforgettable way. Beauty at this age doesn't come from heavy makeup, expensive clothes, or a tiny waist. It shines through your presence, through the calm in your eyes, through a smile that holds a lifetime of stories, and a quiet strength shaped by the years. Some things cannot be learned from books. They can only appear after decades of living fully, loving deeply, giving generously, and growing wiser. That kind of beauty no one can take from you. In today's video, I'll share with you 7 subtle but powerful signs that show you are still a captivating older woman. And perhaps you haven't even realized you possess them. Each sign is a gentle reminder that you still sparkle, you still turn heads, not because you resemble youth, but because you are beautiful in a way only life can create. Stay with me until the end of this video, because I believe once it's over, you'll look at yourself with more love and pride than ever before. When we're young, we often hear compliments like, "You have such beautiful eyes," "You look stunning in that dress," or "Your skin is so radiant it makes others jealous." Those words are like the sunlight of early spring, bright, youthful, and easy to come by. But after turning 60, those kinds of compliments don't appear as often anymore. Instead, there's a different kind of praise, quieter but far more meaningful. "I love being around you. You make me feel so calm," or "There's something so warm about you, I can't explain it." That's when you know your very presence has become your true beauty. It's no longer just about appearance, but about how you make others feel safe, at ease, respected, and deeply comforted. Have you ever noticed someone smile softly when you walk into a room? A shopkeeper suddenly opens up in conversation, or a child quietly comes to stand beside you, even though they've never met you before? That's not coincidence. That's the natural response to the calm, magnetic energy you radiate, a kind of presence that can only come from a life lived with depth and intention. Ruth, a 74-year-old friend of mine, once said, "All my youth, I never thought of myself as beautiful, but now, when I go to the market, people stop to talk. Strangers ask what perfume I'm wearing. A young vendor once said, 'You remind me of my grandma, you have her eyes, I miss her so much.' That's when I realized maybe my beauty isn't on my face, maybe it's in how I show up." Words like that kept Ruth smiling for the rest of the day. You see, people may not remember what your face looked like, what outfit you wore, or how many wrinkles you had, but they will remember how it felt to be around you. They'll remember how you made them feel lighter, how deeply you listened, and how their hearts softened under the gaze of your understanding eyes. That kind of beauty can't be taken by age. It belongs to a soul that's learned how to listen, to empathize, and to love unconditionally. So if someone has ever told you that you have a warm smile, a gentle voice, kind eyes, or simply said, "You make me feel at peace," don't brush those words aside. Those are the most precious compliments of all, because they're not about your skin. They're about how you've made life feel softer, kinder, and more beautiful for someone else. In a world where trends change with every season, it's easy to believe that style belongs only to the young, where fashion, accessories, and aesthetics constantly chase what's hot on social media. But for a woman of experience, elegance is no longer something you try to achieve. It simply flows from within, like the gentle scent of an old silk scarf that's been lovingly preserved over the years. Have you ever walked into a cafe and heard a young woman say, "Excuse me, your earrings are beautiful. Where did you get them?" Or, "I love the way you pair colors. You look so classy and warm at the same time." If you've ever heard words like that, then congratulations, you hold a kind of timeless beauty, a personal style that others can't help but notice. Eleanor, age 70, is someone I'll never forget. She never dressed extravagantly. A simple crewneck sweater, tailored gray trousers, and an olive green scarf loosely draped over her shoulder, that was all. And yet, whenever she walked into a room, people turned their heads. One day, a college student walked up to her and said, "I hope that when I'm your age, I still have the same grace you do." Eleanor smiled gently and replied, "Darling, elegance isn't about age, it's about choosing to be yourself every day." That kind of beauty doesn't need decoration. It's the confidence in choosing shoes that truly fit your feet instead of chasing high heels. It's the way you tie your hair, neatly, simply, yet beautifully. It's picking a lipstick, not to stand out, but to harmonize with skin that has lived through sun and seasons. It's when you don't dress to impress others, you dress to honor yourself. And younger people, they notice, they're drawn to you not because you look younger, but because you don't need youth to be beautiful. You are beautiful because you're real. Because every piece you wear reflects your belief in wholeness and grace. That's something no fashion book can teach. So if anyone, young or old, has ever asked you about your scarf, your color combinations, or simply said, "You look so elegant," then take pride in that moment. You are not just an older woman who dresses well, you are a living symbol of a beauty that never goes out of style. There's something magical that many people overlook. It's when someone looks you straight in the eye and holds that gaze, not out of politeness, but because they truly want to hear what you have to say. In a world full of distractions where people talk while checking their phones, nod while thinking of something else, genuine, undivided attention is a rare and precious gift. And if you often receive that gift, you have more presence and allure than you may realize. Attraction isn't just about appearance. It comes from calm eyes, from a steady, thoughtful voice, from someone who listens before they speak, says only what needs to be said, and never raises their voice, yet somehow causes the room to fall silent, waiting on every word. It's the beauty of experience distilled into presence. And presence is one of the most powerful forms of magnetism. Think back to the last time you had a conversation with a stranger on a flight, a cashier, or even a small grandchild. Did they look at you with warmth? Did they pause when you spoke, nod in understanding, and give you a kind of focused attention that you could feel in your bones? If so, don't doubt yourself. Your beauty isn't on the surface, it radiates from within. I once met Judith, 73, at a small community seminar. She didn't speak much during the discussion, but when she finally did, the entire room seemed to still. Her voice was low, calm, not trying to teach or debate, but everyone listened as if she'd just said something their hearts had been waiting to hear. A young woman next to me whispered, "I don't know why, but when she speaks, I feel completely at peace." And that's just it. True beauty doesn't need to stand out, it simply needs to be present. An attractive woman is not one who tries to impress, but one others can't forget. She is fully here, grounded, complete. And her silent message to the world is this: I don't need to prove my worth, because I've lived, I've learned, and I am enough. If you've noticed that people pause when you speak, if they look into your eyes, not out of habit but out of genuine admiration, believe this: what they see is the echo of your spirit, the glow of a beauty that time cannot erase, a depth that grows stronger with each year lived. Have you ever been standing at the checkout line when someone behind you gently says, "Your hair is beautiful"? Or during an intimate gathering, someone looks at you in surprise and says, "Your skin is smoother than most young women I know"? These compliments are not just polite gestures, they are quiet signals, honest acknowledgments that your beauty is being felt by others, not loudly, but sincerely. After 60, people often assume that physical beauty has passed its prime. But the truth is, the beauty of a seasoned woman doesn't lie in perfection, it lies in care and in acceptance. Skin that is gently nurtured each day, not flawless but soft and even, is the result of self-love. Silver hair that's neatly brushed, even without fancy styling, reflects elegance and attention to detail. And a straight, steady posture doesn't just indicate good health, it silently declares, "I'm proud of who I am." I once spoke with Rose, age 70, at a morning Tai Chi class. She didn't wear fancy activewear nor heavy makeup, but something about her drew every gaze in the room. After class, a young woman approached her and said, "I hope I can look like you when I'm your age." Rose smiled gently and replied, "Sweetheart, beauty doesn't come from the mirror, it comes from how you love yourself every single day." Have you ever received an unexpected compliment about your appearance after 60? Share that moment in the comments. It might just inspire someone else in ways you can't imagine. And if you've ever worried that age would dim your radiance, remember this: beauty comes from how you care for your body, getting enough rest, drinking water, moisturizing at night, and from the confidence in how you carry yourself out into the world. An attractive woman doesn't need to erase every wrinkle. She only needs to keep the sparkle in her eyes and the steadiness in her steps. So if you're often complimented on your graceful posture, glowing skin, or lively hair, know this: it's not just a compliment. It's a clear sign that you're shining in your own quiet, powerful, unforgettable way. There is a kind of beauty that can't be measured by a mirror and doesn't need compliments to be validated. It is the beauty that comes from confidence. After walking a long road in life, seasoned women no longer feel the need to prove anything to anyone. They don't seek attention, they don't strive to stand out, because their calm strength and quiet self-assurance already command respect. Have you ever been in a conversation where people paused to listen, not because you were older, but because your words carried wisdom and experience? That's not luck. That's a clear sign that you hold a special kind of presence, the quiet power of confidence shaped over time. I once met Elaine, a 75-year-old woman with neatly tied silver-streaked hair, bright eyes, and a warm, steady voice. At a community seminar, when she spoke, the room fell completely silent. No one interrupted, no one looked away. Every word she said carried weight, not because it was loud, but because it had depth. Afterwards, a young woman approached her and said, "I don't know how old you are, but I hope I can be as confident as you when I'm older." What about you? Have you ever felt someone truly listening, really honoring your words when you spoke? If so, share that moment in the comments. Your confidence could inspire so many other women. A confident woman doesn't need noise or perfection. Her strength shows in the way she walks, in the way she smiles, and in the way she says no when she means it. She doesn't follow trends, and she doesn't bow to shallow expectations. And that makes her more magnetic than any expensive outfit ever could. If you've noticed that others respect your voice, offer you the seat at the center of the table, or simply trust what you have to say, know that this is the result of decades spent being true to yourself. And if you're still on the journey of rediscovering that confidence, remember, it's not something far away. It's already within you, waiting to be awakened through self-awareness, self-respect, and a deep love for who you are. There are some women who don't need to speak loudly or dress extravagantly. Just walking into a room, they naturally draw people in. They don't demand attention with noise. They radiate something comforting, sincere, and warm. And others feel safe simply by being near them. If you've ever made someone feel comfortable opening up to you, enjoyed heartfelt conversations with strangers, or simply noticed that people want to sit next to you without needing a reason, that is a beautiful and deeply human kind of magnetism. Marianne, a 69-year-old woman I met at a retirement seminar, didn't wear anything flashy, and she didn't speak much. Yet she was surrounded by people the entire afternoon. When I asked why everyone seemed drawn to her, a young attendee replied, "I'm not sure, but when I sit next to her, I feel calm. She makes me feel like I'm really being heard." That is the power of lived experience combined with an open heart. It's a kind of allure you can't create with makeup or clothes. It's built through a lifetime of choosing compassion over anger, listening instead of judging, and softness instead of resistance. If someone has ever confided in you deeply after just one meeting, or felt safe sharing their story with you, share that moment in the comments. It's proof that you carry a kind of beauty that makes others want to be close. And I believe many women need to hear those stories to rediscover the beauty that already lives inside them. What's interesting is you don't need to try to be warm. Often that warmth is already part of who you are. shaped quietly over years of living honestly, loving deeply, and losing bravely. It's a maturity that grows from within, and time cannot erase it. When you walk into a room and people smile at you, it's not just politeness, it's a response to the energy you carry, a gentle beauty with deep gravity. So if you've ever felt less attractive than before, remember this. Real allure doesn't come from firm skin or facial features. It comes from the feeling others have when they're around you. And if people still feel at ease, seen, and strengthened just by your presence, then congratulations, you are one of the most captivating women they'll ever meet. Have you ever walked into a room or simply strolled through a park and felt someone watching you? Not in a rude or staring way, but with a gentle, quiet gaze that quickly turned away when you noticed? If you've experienced that, then congratulations. You're still catching people's eyes, not with flash or flare, but simply with your presence. This kind of magnetism isn't loud. It doesn't come from a flawless hairstyle, wrinkle-free skin, or an expensive dress. It comes from presence, from a calm, steady walk, from eyes that no longer flinch under someone else's gaze, from a soft, knowing smile, and from the way you move, at ease, at home in your own body and self. Take Judith, for example, a retired lawyer at 68. She never tries to look younger. She doesn't wear bold makeup or flashy jewelry, but whenever she walks into her favorite cafe, people remember her. One time, a young man held the door for her and quietly said to his coworker, "She's unlike anyone else, so captivating." Judith overheard and she smiled. She wasn't surprised because she knows that women don't lose their allure with time. They just need to recognize it in the newer version of themselves. Have you ever felt someone looking at you a little longer or received a subtle, thoughtful compliment? Share that moment in the comments. It's not only a recognition of you, but a beautiful reminder for other women to believe in their own quiet power. What draws people's attention to you isn't your effort to be noticed. It's the fact that you don't need to be. In a world chasing approval and trying to impress, a woman who is at peace with herself, who needs to prove nothing, is the one others can't help but look at, wonder about, and admire more deeply. And if you've ever questioned your attractiveness after turning 60, 70, or even 80, remember this: true beauty doesn't disappear, it transforms. From skin to eyes, from figure to voice, from standing out to standing deeply. And you, who have walked through a full life, are now carrying your most powerful, complete, and radiant version yet. So why not leave a comment below? I am still a captivating woman, in my own way. That sentence isn't just a statement, it's a gentle declaration of your confident return to your own beauty. Dear friend, if you've stayed with this video until this very moment, then perhaps there's a quiet question echoing inside you, or maybe a soft ache in your heart. Am I still beautiful? Do I still catch anyone's eye? But here's the truth. A woman's beauty is not faded by time. It is shaped by it, refined into something sharper, deeper, and more unforgettable. Gone are the shallow compliments about appearance. Instead, you're met with respect in people's eyes. You no longer chase trends. You set your own style that others admire. You don't long for recognition. You walk with confidence that comes from within. And that, right there, is the most enduring kind of beauty. The beauty of someone who has lived, loved, sacrificed, and now truly knows how to love herself. From the perspective of many psychologists and gerontologists, the attraction of a woman in her 60s, 70s, and beyond comes from wisdom, inner peace, and the sense of emotional safety she offers to those around her. It's a kind of allure that can't be explained, only felt. And it's something younger generations, no matter how much technology they have, simply can't rush into or imitate. So today, I invite you, yes, you, reading these words, to leave something behind for yourself and for the other women quietly watching alongside you. I don't need to be young again to be beautiful. I am beautiful, exactly as I am at this age. Just writing that in the comments may open the door for others to join you, creating a wave of support and empowerment for a life stage that deserves more love, dignity, and celebration. And if this video touched you, made you nod somewhere along the way, or reignited a quiet sense of worth within, Please like the video, share it with a woman you care about, and subscribe to Wise Old People to walk this journey with us. Every video we make is for you, for the one who is not fading, but shining brighter in a way that no one else ever could. Thank you for staying until the very end. And always remember, aging doesn't take beauty away. It reveals it more deeply than ever before. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll continue to explore the hidden corners and beautiful truths that make growing older a life worth living.